Good day, everyone. My name is Olashpo Adegoke. I'm the lecturer in charge of CSC 215, a practical class which is all about Fortran. And when you talk about a practical class, there's need for us to go into the basic. So we are going to start with introduction. Fortran simply means formula translation. It was introduced in 1956 as one of the high-level languages which resembles English. It is easier to use than machine code, but has a limited specialized vocabulary and a simple syntax free from error. It's also a general purpose programming language used in scientific applications, and it's also important for engineering students when they are involved in scientific competitions. We have Fortran 77, Fortran 90, Fortran 95, and there is also Fortran 2003. The world is growing every day, so it's all about progress. There are some syntax rules that only applies for Fortran 77, which you may not be able to see in the other Fortran programs. So looking at the introduction, it says it is a general purpose and high-level programming language intended for mathematical operations. And again, it is not case sensitive. That is, it is possible for you to use capital letter to write your program or small letter. So it is not case sensitive. In this course, we are going to talk about running a Fortran 95 program. Just as I've told you earlier, the world is advancing every day, and we need to advance too in order for us to learn more. Run a Fortran 95 program. In order for you to run a Fortran 95 program, you have to install the FTN95 package, either from a licensed copy or by downloading the personal edition from the Silverfrost website. Then you run the Plateau Integrated Development application. Plateau Integrated Development application. In Plateau's file menu, that's after you've installed it. In Plateau's file menu, you select new. From there, a pop-up dialog. Then you select free format Fortran file. You select free format Fortran file. I hope you are getting it, and I hope you are going along. Good. Let's proceed. There's the there's the platform, Plato ID platform. Just as I've just said, I said you select free format Fortran file. The main reason is that uh, when you talk about Fortran 77, there are some rules and there are guidelines that you have to follow in terms of the uh, writing of comments, in terms of the columns, but this does not apply to Fortran 95. So you select a free format Fortran file, you click on it, then you open it, and this gives you the privilege of typing your code in any part of the platform. Good. The next thing we talk about is the program organization. Program organization. Just as I've said earlier, this course is a practical course and it's all about rules. It's all about following the guidelines. It's all about following the steps. Once you follow the steps or the rules, there's no problem. So we talk about the program organization. That is, how do you organize your program? How do you organize your code? The first one there is the program name. Whenever you want to write any program in Fortran, there must be a name. So you start with the program name. Maybe you're asked to write a program to calculate area of a circle. You can just make the program name to be, let's say, area of a circle. Then you make sure that the program name is the same thing with the end program. That is the same name. You will see it in our next item, next calculations. The program name that you are going to put here must be the same with the one you will write after the end program. So the name must be the same. After that is the declarations. You must be able to declare a variable. And when you are talking about declaration of a variable, there are also rules and guidelines. We talk about integer, we talk about real numbers, we talk about character numbers, we talk about logical numbers. Let's take, for instance, 1 is an integer. 1.0 is a real number. When I talk about an integer is a whole number. 10, 0 minus 102 plus 127. they are all integer. When you're talking about real number, you talk about floating point numbers, or what you can as well call decimal numbers. Point 1 is a real number. Point 10 is a real number. So you must be able to declare a variable, whether it's an integer, whether it's a real, whether it's logical, that is true or false. So in organizing your program, you must be able to declare a variable. It's very, very important. Then after declaration is we talk about the statements. You must assign a value. A value to your variable. Let's take for example, you are asked to calculate area of a circle. Area of a circle. And when you are talking about calculating an area of a circle, you talk about a parameter pi, which is equal to 3.14159. It's a constant on its own. So you can say your variable is real. Why? Because 3.14 is a parameter and it's also what? A real number. Why? Because it's a decimal point number. So you have to calculate the area of a circle. You declare variables, you declare real. You declare R as a real variable. You declare area and you also declare pi. So you must assign a value, just like that of parameter. There are times you may be given a value and there are times you may not. As you continue with this class, you will learn more about it. Then the next one is the end program. Surely anything that has a beginning must have what? An end. You must be able to end your program with the same name as the program name. With the same name as the program name. Good. The next thing we talk about is the declaration. Declaration. Just like the way I said, when you are talking about variables, you must be able to declare a variable. There are different types of variable in Fortran. Some are integer, just as I've said, like 1, 2, plus 4, minus 5, minus 10, plus 6, plus 7. We also have real. Real numbers are the decimal numbers, or fraction numbers, or floating numbers. Examples are 9.4 minus 7.5. Another one is character. Example, B, A, C. A is a character, B is a character. And hello boy is a string. We'll get to know much about that one later. The other one is the complex number. That's when you have a real and an imaginary parts. And after that, we talk about logical. That is, a statement can be what? True or false. I hope you are enjoying the class. Okay, good. Thank you. Just like I said the other time, it is very important for you to declare a variable. It is very, very important for you to declare a variable. Another thing that is important is the implicit typing. Fortran allows implicit typing, which means that variables do not have to be what? Declared. Fortran allows implicit typing, which means that variables do not have to be declared. If a variable is not declared, the first letter of its name determines the type. Note, if the name of the variable starts with I, J, K, L, M, or N, it is considered an integer. Oh yes, in other cases, it's considered to be a real. It's considered to be what? A real. Let me go over it again. I said Fortran allows implicit typing, which means that variables do not have to be declared. That is, unless specified, variable names beginning with I to N are assumed integers and others are real. That's just it. You may be wondering, why do we need implicit typing? Why do we need implicit typing? One, to remove errors. Everybody wants a program that will be free from errors. You want a program that will be free from mistakes. So you need implicit typing to do what? To remove errors. Two, for checking if variable types have been properly declared. For checking if variable types have been properly declared. And lastly, in order to adhere to Fortran rule. I made a statement when I started this lecture. I said this course is all about rules. It's all about following the guidelines. And once you follow the rules, there will be no error, there will be no mistake. I hope you are following. Good, thank you. Now, we are getting to the real thing. We are going to talk about the program structure. When you talk about Fortran program, it's just a sequence of lines of text. A sequence of lines of text. For example, this is a program with the name real. I told you the other time that whenever you want to write a program, it must start with a name, and the name must be the same with that of the one that follows the end program, that you can see it here. real is the same, also the same thing as what? Real. They are the same. Here I want to read an integer. We are talking about a variable here, integer. Answer 1, answer 2. You read answer 1, ans 1, they also read ans 2. Program structure, I said it's all about rules, and this Fortran is just a sequence of what? Lines of text. The first statement here, program real, gives the program name. The second statement declares what? A variable, which is what? An integer. Are you getting me? Good. So we have to read ans 1 and what? Ans 2. You declare a variable, then the next thing that follows is what? The statements. I hope you are getting it. Can you try it on your Plato IDE platform? Just follow the steps. Just type it the way it is. You don't need to add the bullets. Leave the bullets out of it. The bullets and the bullets here. Leave it out of it. Okay. Okay. Good. You may notice read here. This reads from standard input or from a file using the word read statements. It reads from what? Standard input or from a file. We've declared a variable here. This reads values from standard input or from a file. Good. You can try it. Thank you. Another one is another program structure here. Note the program name again, routes. Also at the end of the program, the name still appear as what? Routes. So the program name and the end program name must always be the same. Here we are asked to integer. We are asked to write The write statement is used to write a statement to the default output, and this is the syntax. It is used to write a statement to the default output, and this is the way it is being used. Now I told you the other time that the read statements reads from standard input or from a file. Reads from a standard input. Why the write statements write the statement to the default output? Do you get me? Read reads from what? A standard input or from a file. Why write the statement to the default output, and this is the syntax. You can try this program. You can try it. I hope you are getting it. Don't worry, don't bother if you if you try it once in a while you see some errors. Just look for a way to correct it. Good. Yes, we can move on. Thank you. This is another program on its own. Yeah. The program name is what? Sum. If you look at the program name, which is Sum, the program name Sum. So this is just the breakdown of a program structure. The sum here is the name of a program. Here we talk about this an exclamation mark. In Fortran 77, C was used, but in the modern Fortran program we make use of exclamation mark, and that is saying that wherever you see an exclamation mark on your Fortran program, the compiler ignores it. It's a comment. You can just say, my name is Olashpade, okay, I'm the lecturer in charge of CS 215. It's just the name. So the compiler will ignore it. It will not be part of the program. Then real. Yes. Real. This declaration, just I've told you earlier. Declaration of a variable, and the variable we are using here is what? Real. So we talk about declarations here. Real. A column. At times it's possible for you to leave a space. You still arrive at the same answer. The answer, comma, XY. This is what? Declarations. The next one is prints. 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 That is, you use it to print your value, your output. Just like writes. The next one here is read. That is used to read from standard input or from a file. Let's go to answer. Answer is equal to what? X plus Y. This is an arithmetic expression. This is an arithmetic expression. As you can see, X plus Y. In Fortran, if you are talking about multiplication, it will be what? Asterisk. If it is exponentiation, it will be double asterisk. Then the next one is what? Print. The total is answer, and it will be, the print will give you what? The output. And the last one here, end program sum. You still end up with the name, the same name. If you are finding any part of this course difficult, you can still go back to the class to learn more. Good. Now let's talk about program structure general points. Yes. Each statement is made up of variable names. Example, answer, X, Y. Just like what we saw here. These are the variable names. They are the variable names. Answer X, Y. A variable name maybe for uh for an area of a circle, maybe uh area. For area of a triangle, it may be what? Base, height. For an area of a trapezium, it may be what? The two bases, A, B, then the height. So each statement is made of what? Variable names. Then operators. Operators. Examples are the plus, equal to. Then we also talk about the keywords. Read, print. The statements are executed sequentially. Good. Fortran is very good to learn once you follow the rules and the guidelines, and you will. The truth of the matter is that you will actually enjoy it. Yes, when you follow the rules and the guidelines, you will enjoy it. You don't need to struggle with anything. It's all about following the rules and the guidelines. Yeah, thank you. Here we're going to talk about arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators. We talk about the plus sign, which is addition, minus sign, which is subtraction. We talk about multiplication and division, then exponentiation. That is when you raise a value to 3. Maybe 3 raised to power 3, which is 27. You talk about all the brackets. The order of precedence in Fortran is identical to that of mathematics. That is, multiplication and division are performed before addition and subtraction. That's just it. We get there. Let's continue. Yes, let's look at the following arithmetic expressions. Yeah. If you're having any challenge, you may send your question to me. Yeah. Yes, we are talking about arithmetic expressions. In Fortran, this is the way we write our expressions. Yeah, in math, this is the way they write it. You will notice that asterisk, this x is equal to a asterisk b. That is where you multiply a times b. That means, let's say a is 2, b is 3. That will give you 6. Here in math, you see the way it has been written. A plus b, a minus b. Look at the exponentiation. A asterisk, that is the 2 asterisk, b is equal to s equal to a raised to power b. So we talk about s equal to a divided by b. This is division. So like for a plus b, s equal to a plus b and s equal to a minus b, is in Fortran is the same thing as that of the mathematical operations, but for others there are rules and there are guidelines. Still talking about arithmetic operations. Here you are asked to write a program to calculate area of a circle if the radius of the circle is 2.5. Look at the statements. The program name is area of circle, and the variable is declared as well real. R, which is for radius, area, pi. The parameter is what? Pi is constant, 3.14159. Note when you're asked to write a program, mostly especially mathematical operations or solve arithmetic in Fortran, there are some formulas you need to know. Just like the area of a circle is equal to pi r square. You can see this, the asterisk and the explanation. R explanation 2. You can see it. It's not the same way the one we see in our mathematical operations. Then write the area is what? Area. Then we end the program. Apart from following the rules, this course is all about practical. Once you make a mistake, once you commit an error, you will see it on the system, so you'll be able to correct yourself. It's just about learning. Here is another one. We have to calculate area of trapezium. Here we declare what? Integer a, b, h, c. A is 2. There is a simple rule of which I will want us to know. Once you've declared a variable, just like this, you said integer is what? A, b, h, c. Just bring those values to your left here. Here you've been given a value. A is equal to what? 2. B is equal to 10. H is equal to 3. C is equal to 0.5. The actual formula for the area of trapezium is what? A plus B over 2 multiplied by what? H. So we have to convert the half to 0.5. Good. Then it prints. The next one we are talking about is the intrinsic functions. Intrinsic functions are standard built-in functions that are provided by Fortran. We talk about IABS or ABS, which means absolute value. Talk about mass, which means what? Maximum. Talk about mean, which means what? Minimum. Talk about square root, which means SQRT, which means square root. Talk about ESP, exponential. We talk about the sine, cos, tan, acos, and so on and so forth. They are very, very important in Fortran. They are very, very important in Fortran. Yes, I said they are very, very important in Fortran. Good. Yeah. Yes. When I talk about intrinsic functions, there are also some other rules which we'll talk about later. Very, very important rules. Just like I said, here one of the intrinsic functions is what? Square roots. SQRT. You are asked to find out what? Square roots. It can only be declared as a real variable. It can only be declared as what? A real variable. The type of arguments and the type of result must be what? Real. It must be what? Real. The type of uh, uh, the results will always be what? Real. If you run this program now, the result will be what? Real, which will be what? In decimal. Why? Because there are rules guiding some intrinsic functions. All of them. Just like the sign. The type of argument for sign, cos, tan, and their result is always what? Real. Good. This is another program which has to do about calculation of sine. It's a real. These are real variables. You can as well change this sign to cos, because the same rule appears for the sine, cos, tan. Take note of certain things when you are running your program, or which it may look it may not look real, but can cause a major problem. Take note of the separator, the comma, whenever you are writing your program. It's very, very important. So this is another program that calculates sine 30.0, which is a real value. And the answer surely too will be what? In real. So the type of argument, the type of result is also what? Real. Good. Thank you. But before we come for the next class, which I'll be able to explain much better on the other mathematical operations, the numerical expressions, the selected functions. There is an assignment, a quiz, of which you have to submit before the next class. I hope you enjoy the class, and I wish you good luck. But please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.